for Dennis. Smith behind the back. Augmon got it. Leading it by 29.
Augmon, he was looking for Mookie Blaylock, could not get the ball to him, so Pickett scored 10 in the first quarter, 24-19. Atlanta's lead now, a 5-point lead. Stacey Augmon, nice move inside.
On the dunks. Steve Smith has found a new home that he loves in Atlanta. Pass to Augmon.
Basketball fans in the early 1990s knew about Stacey Augmon. Long before he became a steady NBA veteran, Augmon was tearing up college basketball courts as part of one of the most dominant teams in NCAA history. His nickname Plastic Man perfectly captured his incredible versatility and seemingly elastic ability to stretch into any role his team needed. But Augmon's story goes far beyond his college glory days. It's a tale of adaptation, perseverance, and finding your niche in the professional ranks. Stacey Augmon arrived at UNLV in 1987, joining what would become one of college basketball's most legendary programs. Under head coach Jerry Tarkanian, UNLV was building something special, and Augmon became a cornerstone of that dynasty. Standing 6 feet 8 inches with an athletic frame and incredible court awareness, he was the perfect fit for Tarkanian's fast-paced, aggressive style of play. The Runnin' Rebels, as they were known, were absolutely electrifying to watch. Augmon formed a devastating trio with Larry Johnson and Greg Anthony, creating a team that could run opponents out of the gym. His defensive prowess was particularly noteworthy. Augmon had this uncanny ability to anticipate plays, strip balls, and turn defense into instant offense. He wasn't just a defender, though. His offensive game was well-rounded, capable of scoring from anywhere on the court and creating plays for his teammates. The pinnacle of Augmon's college career came during the 1989-90 season, when UNLV went on an absolute tear through the NCAA tournament. They didn't just win games, they demolished opponents with a style that was both beautiful and ruthless. The championship game against Duke was particularly memorable, with UNLV winning 103-73 in what many consider one of the most dominant title game performances ever. Augmon's all-around contributions were crucial to that success. His individual accolades piled up during his time in Las Vegas. Augmon was named the most outstanding player of the 1991 NCAA tournament, despite UNLV falling short of repeating as champions. He was also named the Naismith Defensive Player of the Year in 1991, cementing his reputation as one of college basketball's premier two-way players. By the time he left UNLV, Augmon had helped establish a program that would be remembered as one of the greatest in college basketball history. The Atlanta Hawks selected Augmon with the 9th overall pick in the 1991 NBA draft, and expectations were high for the versatile forward. However, like many college stars, Augmon discovered that the transition to professional basketball required significant adjustments. The NBA game was faster, more physical, and demanded a different kind of consistency than college ball. During his early years in Atlanta, Augmon was primarily used as a defensive specialist and energy player off the bench. Coach Lenny Wilkins appreciated his defensive instincts, often calling on him to guard the opponent's best perimeter player. While his offensive numbers weren't eye-popping, he averaged around 8 to 10 points per game during most of his Atlanta tenure. His impact went beyond statistics. The Hawks were a competitive team during Augmon's time there, regularly making playoff appearances. His role was often that of the unsung hero, the guy who would make the crucial steal, grab the important rebound, or provide a spark when the team needed it most. He played alongside stars like Dominique Wilkins and later, Steve Smith, learning how to be an effective role player in a league full of exceptional talent. One of the most valuable lessons Augmon learned in Atlanta was how to maximize his effectiveness within a defined role. While he may have been the star at UNLV, the NBA required him to be more specialized. His defensive skills remained his calling card, but he also developed a more reliable outside shot and became better at moving without the ball on offense. After 5 seasons in Atlanta, Augmon found himself traded to the Detroit Pistons for the 1996-97 season. Detroit was trying to rebuild after the departure of their bad boys era players, and they were looking for veteran leadership and defensive toughness. Augmon's time in Detroit was relatively brief but productive. He averaged about 9 points per game and continued to be a defensive anchor for the team. The Pistons were struggling to find their identity during this period, cycling through different players and coaching philosophies. For Augmon, it was an opportunity to take on slightly more responsibility and show that he could adapt to different systems and teammates. The Motor City experience taught Augmon valuable lessons about the business side of basketball. Being traded can be jarring for any player, but it also reinforced his understanding that success in the NBA often comes down to being professional, staying ready, and making the most of whatever opportunities come your way. The Portland Trail Blazers became Augmon's most significant NBA home, and it was there that he truly found his niche as a professional player. Portland in the late 1990s was a team with championship aspirations, featuring talented players like Rasheed Wallace, Scottie Pippen, and Steve Smith. Coach Mike Dunleavy valued Augmon's veteran presence and defensive reliability. During his 4 seasons in Portland, Augmon became an integral part of a team that was consistently competitive in the Western Conference. His defensive versatility was particularly valuable. He could guard multiple positions and was often assigned to neutralize the opponent's most dangerous perimeter threat. Whether it was covering quick point guards or matching up against powerful forwards, Augmon had the tools to be effective. The Trail Blazers made deep playoff runs during Augmon's tenure, including a memorable run to the Western Conference Finals in 2000. While stars like Wallace and Pippen grabbed the headlines, Augmon's contributions were crucial to the team's success. He provided the kind of steady, professional presence that championship contending teams need. Portland also allowed Augmon to showcase his basketball intelligence. He became known for making smart plays, being in the right position at the right time, and rarely making mental errors. These might seem like small things, but in the NBA, where games are often decided by a handful of plays, having a player who consistently makes the right decisions is invaluable. When Augmon signed with the Charlotte Hornets in 2001, he was entering a new phase of his career. The Hornets were looking to add veteran leadership to a young roster, and Augmon fit that role perfectly. The transition from Charlotte to New Orleans happened during Augmon's time with the franchise, as the team relocated in 2002. Through this period of change and uncertainty, Augmon remained a steady presence. He understood that his role at this stage of his career was as much about leadership and setting an example as it was about his on-court contributions. In New Orleans, Augmon played alongside emerging stars like Baron Davis and Jamal Mashburn. His veteran savvy complemented their youthful energy, and he often served as a bridge between the coaching staff and younger players. While his minutes and scoring averages had decreased from his earlier years, his impact on team chemistry and culture remained significant. The Hornets weren't championship contenders during Augmon's time there, but they were competitive and provided him with an opportunity to continue doing what he did best: playing solid defense, making smart decisions, and being a professional presence in the locker room. Augmon's final NBA stop was with the Orlando Magic, where he played his last 2 seasons from 2004 to 2006. By this point, he was clearly in the twilight of his career, but he still had value as a veteran presence and defensive specialist. Even in limited minutes, Augmon continued to make an impact. Young players on the Magic benefited from his experience and professionalism. He had seen it all during his 15-year NBA career: championship runs, trades, rebuilding seasons, and everything in between. That knowledge was invaluable to a young team trying to establish its identity. His final seasons in Orlando were a fitting end to a career that exemplified consistency, professionalism, and adaptability. While he may not have achieved the individual stardom that some predicted during his UNLV days, Augmon had carved out a successful and respected career in the NBA. Looking back at Stacey Augmon's career, it's easy to see why he earned the nickname Plastic Man. His ability to stretch and adapt to whatever role his team needed was truly remarkable. From being a star player at UNLV to becoming a valuable role player in the NBA, Augmon demonstrated the kind of versatility and basketball smarts that coaches love. Many players struggle when they realize they won't be the star in the NBA that they were in college. Augmon embraced his role, perfected his craft, and built a career that lasted 15 years. Teams knew that when they signed Stacey Augmon, they were getting a player who would make the right play, guard the opponent's best player, and set a positive example for younger teammates. His college achievements at UNLV will always be remembered as some of the most dominant in NCAA history. That 1990 championship team was something special, and Augmon was a crucial part of what made them so successful. But his NBA career, while perhaps less flashy, was equally impressive in its own way. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and stay safe.